Hi, and welcome to No Boundaries Mother and Daughter Edition. This is a podcast in which we, mother and daughter, we have really honest and open conversations about controversial topics, but also about pop culture. We have absolutely no boundaries, or if we have them, we discuss them. And we all do all this while also discussing always our mother and daughter bonds. But today we have a very special episode. We're very excited. So before we, as we always say, I'm the mother, she's the daughter. I just want to say thank you, ladies, for coming. We have Kenyëva and Ugona, and they are the amazing, gorgeous, beautiful ladies behind Nicolandriacore. Welcome, ladies.
Hi, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. We're super excited to have this conversation with you. And I love what you guys are doing. It's amazing to see like a mother and daughter get to like have this kind of like intimate time together and like creating something as great as what you guys are making. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. Well, we'll discuss everything about you, and of course, I also want to know about your mothers. But this is my daughter. This is Lulu.
Hi.
I'm Anusha.
I think before we get into Nic and Olandria, I think we should talk about what Nicolandriacore is and how did you guys start it?
It started with watching the season, watching Love Island. I have watched a few seasons before. And, I just started watching it. My little sister was like, watch this season. And I was like, okay. And from there, I just told Kaniva, like, yeah, you should watch it too. And then from there, we would just have like our laptops ready. We would both press play at the same time so we could watch the episode, and we'll have our commentary together. We'll be texting each other like thesis statements on what we think is going to happen next. And we had our eyes on Nic and Olandria. At one point, it was like separate, but we've always had our eyes on both of them, like throughout the entire season. And we could tell, we're like, oh yeah, they're gonna change like the world, like, and we don't know how that was gonna look like or what that was gonna be, but we just knew like they're gonna change the world because the love story that we're witnessing is just so like refreshing to see, and I think that's what everyone needed to see, and that's why it's so big. And so with Nicolandriacore, it was actually just her and I like wanting to have a community to talk about Love Island and specifically Nicolandria.
Yeah, like where did you start? What platforms and like what kind of stuff did you guys start posting? Like for those who are like not familiar with like fan pages, etc.
So, so for me, well, I never watched Love Island prior to this season, but Ugona had already watched it. So she would live tweet like while watching the show. So like this is gonna sound so bad, but I had like all Love Island things muted and blocked from my Twitter because I just felt like all of the fans like, why are they so sucked into it? Like I didn't get it. I didn't get it. So when we started watching it and I got into it, I was like, dang it. So I had to go unmute all of the words and stuff. And then I discovered the community directly for Nic and Olandria at that time. It was way smaller than what it is now. Come Here Cream. So I would be in there. I would be like, just seeing like, okay, like these people, like they feeling them, like, or whatever. I would be in that community. And then Instagram is our main platform. Instagram, like that's the one that we love using. And I didn't see any representation on Instagram at all, and I like using Instagram more than TikTok and Twitter. So I was like, maybe I can bring like the posts that I like from there to here. And maybe there's another niche group of people that are on Instagram, maybe like 400 or 1,000 people that are here that are into Nic and Olandria too, and maybe they'll find the page. And I told Ugo, we were like, maybe we can go on live and it'll be those 300 people or whatever, or whatever. 30 of them will be online and we'll talk about the show together. Like that was all we wanted, just community of people that were into the same thing as us. So yeah.
Wow. And how fast did it grow? Because now you have over 60,000 followers. How did you see it?
And how did it like start? Was there like a specific post that made you guys like go big or?
Yeah. So the first post at one point, I don't know if you guys realized, but production was like not showing any clips of Nic and Olandria. Like they were like, I don't know if they were trying to edit them out or whatever. So we started putting together crumbs that production like was pretty much leaving out or whatever. We put that together and we were able to post one. So there was this one post or whatever. It was like production crumbs or something like that from tonight's episode. And that one got really big. And then the finale, we had like probably I think like 600 followers the day of the finale, but we had planned like a whole like day of activities, virtual obviously, for our like 600 followers. So we had like we rated all of Olandria's outfits throughout the villa. Like just interactive posts like that really helped people come. And then we were told everybody for the finale we're gonna go on live that day. So come here, we'll have a watch party virtual on live. We didn't even know how we were gonna do it because at that time we didn't use Twitch or anything. But we were like, we know we want to watch it with these people and we want their opinions, so we'll figure it out. So that day, I guess people told other people like, oh, this Instagram page is having a live or something. But people were finding the page, participating with the polls and stuff that we had, and then we went live in the middle of Red Lobster. We had our iPad. We brought our iPad there. We brought a tripod, and we had my extra phone. And we set everything up. We put the phone like away in the camera so that it could show the show from the iPad screen. And we had like 30 people on the live, and yeah, we did not care. Then after the next day, we were on live again doing a recap because we really thought Nic and Olandria were gonna win the finale, but whatever.
Yeah.
So we had like a support group live, and while we were on live that day, Nic and Olandria had left the villa, and somehow I don't know how, but they found our
Oh,
Instagram.
wow.
I think at that time we probably had like already like maybe 60 posts, Ugo, like around that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we already had like kind of like an archive built for them for when
Mhm.
they came out, which was also important to us. And Nic found the page and he followed the page, and we were like, wait, what? But then he came on our live. This is like one of the first post Villa interactions. He came on our live and commented, and then somebody screenshotted that, and they're like, Nic is in Nicolandriacore is live right now, and they put that on Twitter in that community, and that kind of like also like spread the word. People started following the page and stuff, and then he gave us a shout out a few days later on his TikTok live, him and Olandria. At that time, I think we had like 6,000 followers at that time. And then that took us from 6K to 15. And then the more we kept like posting and just building and being interactive and stuff, the page really grew organically. Like we never looked at numbers. Like we even stopped using hashtags. That's another thing. 2 weeks into us having the page, Instagram banned us from commenting. We could not write captions. We couldn't like post. We couldn't even comment. But the page still grew from that to like what it is now, even with all of those adversities.
But
So
why? So, do you know why the adversities? What?
we don't know to this day.
I
We
don't
didn't do
know.
anything wrong.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Do you think
Mm-mm.
maybe it was like people who were like of other fandoms? Because there's a lot going on
I
between
don't know.
between
Yeah.
the fandoms, right?
Yeah. At that time, it was
Mm-mm.
like the worst thing to be at that time was a Nicolandrian. Like
Mm-mm.
we have a strong feeling that it was like people like trying to report like the page and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
So it could be that, but we never found out an actual reason why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the page kept on growing and growing. And what
Mhm.
I noticed is, I mean, you post everything like right away. If you don't know where to look and you want to know what's going on, you go to Nicolandriacore.
Yeah.
That of course brings a lot of, amazing things and amazing reactions. But I can also
Mhm.
imagine there were some challenges because you were kind of making it up as you're going along. Or is
Yeah.
fan pages Lulu really normal? Is it?
Right, like did you have any prior experience or were you guys like winging it as you were going?
Mm, For me, like I've never ran a fan page. Ugona, I know you've been a stan before, like a real stan, so I'll let you like take the lead with this part, and then I'll jump in.
Yeah, I've definitely been into stan culture. Like you
Who
can
did
see
you
on my
stand?
Twitter, I have like 90,000 tweets. Majorities from when I used to be a stan account. Like literally, I used to stan Justin Bieber, mindless behavior. Like I was obsessed. Like Beyonce, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj. Like I was obsessed. So I kind of already knew like how it is. It's pretty much like essentially a community or a group of people that have a similar interest, and whenever their fave is what they like to call art, like their fave is on a TV show or at an award show or some like just a post or a new brand deal, everyone like tweets about it or like posts about it. So I think like that having that mindset, we kind of just naturally started doing that, and we started to treat the Instagram page like a magazine spread because we like seeing those magazines when we grew up, like those teen magazines and stuff. So we just essentially treated Nicolandria Core like it was a magazine with the community attached to it. So being very interactive, like answering all DMs, posting on the story, different polls, replying to all comments. We just wanted people to feel seen in ways that we wish we felt seen when we were younger. I will say both of us, we were very chronically online as well. Like we were just chronically online. I didn't really go out a lot as a kid. Like my parents were like, "Yeah, you staying home." So what I could do is like go online, play like online games, and join different communities. So we kind of like show that in the page essentially.
No,
Yeah.
I was so touched because, with 60,000 followers, and I just sent you like, hi, would you like to be in our podcast? And you were so gracious and nice and answering. And also you answered pretty quickly. I thought, well, maybe I'll hear something in 2 weeks. But you were so wonderful, so nice. How do you do that with so many, with your careers also, managing, singing, writing songs? How do you find that? Is that because you're young and yeah, grown up online?
Like I will
Yes.
say for me it's like this is really like a passion project. Like when we do this, like when we post or when we're replying to comments and stuff like that or the DMs, like for us, like the number one thing is like that DM that somebody sent us is very important because that could be like this person like might be like going through something and they just want to talk to somebody really quick. They just want to react to a post. Like that interaction that we have could be like a very important interaction in that person's day. So we try to make sure like that we always like are available. Like it's been really hard for us to find a balance, but we're getting better at it, I feel like. But we just understand like the importance of like what the page is now to people, especially after meeting so many people in real life that have told us like, oh, like this page kept my summer going and stuff like that. And like for us, like Ugona said, we both grew up online. So like literally for me, whenever I would get off school, I would run home. I had like this like 3D online game that I used to play. It was called Second Life. And I had like a whole community on there, like just like friends and family or whatever, like fake internet family that I used to like talk to and stuff. Just because I couldn't go out that much and I didn't have that many like friends in real life, just growing up like awkward. So it's like it means something to the younger me to be available like that or whatever. It's not really healthy because like I feel like we work on the page 24/7, but like we're finding a balance now.
Oh, that's wonderful. So,
How are you
yeah.
finding that balance? And when was it, did it get to a point where you were like, okay, like we need to like take a step back or yeah.
Yeah. There's been a few points. Like we've had sleepless nights with the page. We really burned ourselves out like the beginning of September. Like it was really bad. We got really burnt out. And then like also like we have like really big personal goals. Like Ugona, like she's like really talented. Like this year she released her first song, but like that was her first time ever in the studio. Attention, she made that the first time ever writing a song, and then we got to go to Madison Square Garden. So it's like imagine what will happen if we put like maximum effort into that. So it's like I want to make sure that we're also like doing stuff like for ourselves, not just it's fun like obviously supporting and building up Nic and Olandria, and I feel like we've done that. Not that just us,
Yeah.
but like the whole community. So we have to make sure like we're not forgetting ourselves, which as oldest sisters, it's so easy to do. Like,
So you're both the oldest.
yes.
Yes.
Me too.
And you?
So
Uh,
you know.
you know, we have a secret language.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. So, of course, we're going to talk more because we want to end this episode with you and what you're doing and your work. But let's dive a little bit into Nicolandria, and I want to keep it personal because everybody speaks about them a lot. But what we need to touch on is, of course, that it's a interracial relationship, right? So, like Nick literally said, she didn't give me her heart; I stole it, and we as audiences saw that he was absolutely crazy about her, but for her, it was way more complicated, right? She knew he found her attractive, and where she's from, she was used to that white men would, definitely find her attractive. But will a man like that take her seriously? Really, that. So I wanted to ask you, if it's not too personal, have you been in interracial relationships? Did you grow up in like a white environment or your own like more community of color or black community? And how does that resonate with you? And what do you recognize of that?
That's yeah, that's a really good question. I haven't necessarily dated outside of my race, but I have dated from different cultures. And like even with that, there could be such like large cultural differences that can influence a relationship. And I feel like if you're not self-aware about it or able to communicate those differences, it can maybe cause like friction or a clash, especially I will say in for Nick and Olandria, I could see for like Olandria that like internal battle, and I feel like all Black women that we can experience that because we are exposed to things, unfortunately, like racism and sexism, et cetera, et cetera. So we have a different, and we witnessed that early on in our childhood, in our life, and it could be worse in different states. I would say in Maryland, I mean, I didn't really experience like very explicit like any like racism, and I'm very grateful for that. And I also live in we both, PG County is a predominantly Black area, and a lot of Black people here are very successful. It's very common to see like a Black doctor, a Black lawyer, a Black teacher, and you can experience that in your community. But I will say in maybe states like Alabama, that could be very, very different. And so having that mindset where like, of course, a guy of a different race may find me beautiful, but is he going to take all of me and what that comes with? So I think Olandria was having that internal doubt, and us as Black women, I think that's another reason why we were very like attracted to her story and fell in love with her story, because we could see ourselves in her. Like those reactions that she would give to Nick, or like, oh, it's like whatever. We understand why she did it. It's because she has witnessed or experienced things, growing up that could have been like, all right, I don't know if you like me for me. And so I just love that it wasn't even about race. It was about how Nick treated Olandria. And that's what everyone fell in love with. So I'm just, yapping, but I'm just trying to tie those things together with my experience is
But
those
but
cultural things.
but as a Justin Bieber stan, you must have
That was
liked,
our crush. That was my crush too. Can't lie.
right?
Literally.
I'm sure there must have
So
been some boy somewhere in school or in a club or somewhere that you thought like, ooh, or was it almost so culturally for you and the way you grew up, maybe also your mom or your parents, that you would not even consider that? Or have you had crushes on white guys?
oh my gosh, I've never had like an actual crush on like a white guy like in my community. Like I wasn't around a lot of white boys growing up, but I loved Justin Bieber. I thought he was very handsome. I loved his music. Like I loved like everything about Justin Bieber. And my parents knew I loved Justin Bieber. Like I remember my dad was very close to getting me tickets to a Justin Bieber concert. Like they knew I did not play about Justin Bieber. But I don't know. I just never had, but I guess because I'm Nigerian, we're very big on like cultural ties, like even down to your tribe. Like my parents are Igbo and they would love for me to, date or marry someone that's Igbo. But my mom has shared like even if it's just someone Nigerian, that's fine. Like I'm cool with that. But my dad's like, no, I want him to be Igbo. Like, so I think having those influences probably subconsciously, like just, influenced how I would, respond to like guys who were from outside of my culture. But because like I was born in the US, I'm in a melting pot. So I'm more open to like dating different, like from different cultures. But as for like white guys, no, but I guess I'm not against it or anything like that. Like now that I'm older, I'm very more like big on like who you are, like your character and things like that. So I'm not like as apprehensive as I was when I was younger, maybe.
And Kenyëva, what do you want to share about that and your experiences?
For me, like growing up, I would go on this website, this magazine website called J14, and they had like these like contests that you could like enter to meet Justin Bieber or whatever, like meet. They had like random celebrities on there, so I would always go and enter to meet Justin Bieber. But I think one day, like in middle school, it hit me like even if you do meet Justin Bieber, like he's not gonna like you. Like he doesn't like girls like you. Your hair is not long enough. You're not light enough, and like you're not pretty. Like I just automatically assumed that. I was like, okay, like yeah, you're black. Some black girls get to date guys that are like white, but those girls are like supermodels. They don't look like you.
Was it something that was like internalized? Was that said to you, or was it sort of like, because I recognize that too, and nobody ever, like, it's not that my mom or anyone would ever say that, right? But you just kind of get that just from the.
I mean, probably also seeing him, seeing the kind of girls he dates, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was more so like the representation. I didn't see girls that looked like me with guys, like white guys that were like I just didn't see that. So I just assumed like it was not possible. So after that, like I just took that out of my head. And the only other white guy I had a crush on, he's from Vampire Diaries. His name was Damon, and I thought he was really cute.
I was Team Stefan.
Oh wow. Yeah. And that was a little older. That was when I was like probably like 17 or 18. So yeah, but I've never dated a guy that's white. I've dated outside of my culture though. Like usually I date outside my culture, so I'm not against it.
Yeah. And would your mom be upset, or how would your mothers react if you would come home with like a tall, blonde, European-looking guy? Girl?
I don't think my mom would be upset. She would be intrigued maybe. Like, okay. It hasn't been done before in my family. Well, yeah.
No one in the family.
Not in my immediate family, like maybe extended cousins and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, and Ugona, your family? Do you have any?
I think they definitely made jokes like, like bring someone from our culture, you know?
Yeah.
But I do think now that I'm older, I feel like if I did bring someone home that's from a different culture, a different race, that if I like say this is the one that's for me, like he's ready to support me, you know, I love him, I care about him, he's a good person. I think they'll take like it's 2025. Like I don't know, like I feel like the world is changing and my parents see that every day. So I don't think they'll be too against it, but they may not be initially like ecstatic. But it just comes from a place of like they love their culture. Like they love our culture like as being Igbo. So they just want that for like me and they want that for like their grandkids and things like that. So I think that's where it stems from. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a beautiful culture.
That's
Yeah.
so interesting because I feel like for my culture, like being Sierra Leonean, like the capital of Sierra Leone is called Freetown, so a lot of like slaves and stuff that like came were there. So it's kind of like a lot of people in Sierra Leone are also mixed with like Lebanese. So it's like they have like fair skinned people that have like that Lebanon background and stuff, but they still kind of like view them as like different, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
it would kind of give like that kind of vibe, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, handsome men, Lebanese men. You.
Yeah, I think so. Back to Nic and Olandria, I think since there is like a big debate going on and a lot of opinions on their relationship, and since you guys are Nic and Nicolandriacore and you guys do like pay attention to all the details and know what they do and where they're at, do you guys think it's a PR relationship? And what are your thoughts on this whole debate, if you have any? Yeah.
Like
No.
like first of all, after seeing them in real life, like and feeling like the energy in the room, like chemistry and stuff, like even if it was a PR relationship, like you can't really fake energy and chemistry. Like that's not possible. And if it was a PR relationship, they've done such a horrible job at the PR part. Like I think that they're in like a private relationship. I think that they're taking their time. I feel like with Olandria, like we saw even like post Villa before she like jumped back on the internet, like she took her time. I feel like people have like so much pressure that they're trying to put on them, like they have something to prove, like, oh, you guys production put y'all together. And I feel like I really like the fact that they're not allowing themselves to have to like succumb to that fake pressure that people are putting on them to prove that they're in a relationship.
Holding.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No. You mentioned that you saw them in real life. Where did you see them and how was this experience? And were you guys together?
Yeah. So we they had a Greek fest. We were expecting only Nick to be there because you guys know he's well, for the people watching that don't know, Nick, since he's been out the villa, he partnered up with this thing called Greek Fest and he goes to like different universities and stuff and does meet and greets there. So when we saw that they were having a Maryland location, we were like, okay, like we finally get to at least meet Nick. Like we were so excited because so many days have like he's been doing this since like August and we have not seen any Maryland date like at all. And then the week before he was at the Baltimore Ravens game and we're like, dang, we could have went to the game to probably meet him, but we didn't get that chance. So we were super excited and we went there. And when we got there, they're like, oh, we have a surprise for you guys. We have a surprise. So we're thinking like, what's the surprise? And then they accidentally leaked it on Nick's live that Olandria was coming. So we literally got to meet both of them in one night. We didn't even think it was possible.
And you had no idea that she was gonna be there.
Yes, I wish we
No.
knew. Like I really wish we knew. Like
Wish I knew.
And
Right.
how
That was
were
nice.
they? And because they know you, they love you guys. I mean, of course, I watched it all. I was switching between your lives and the Greek Fest live.
Yes.
See over here?
She was sending in a different POV.
oh my God, you guys are so cute.
I
Oh my
love that. I
gosh.
love that. I love that.
You looked both stunning, and everyone who was there looked stunning. But so, first of all, compliments on your outfits. You looked gorgeous, both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How were they? First of all, how was Olandria? Because I think her aura and her kindness and her sweetness, there's something like so sweet and unique about her. And she's so tiny.
Yeah.
Yes. So
I was
Yes, the
surprised when I
energy.
found out she was 5'3". I thought she was very
Yes.
tall. It's like this little tiny.
tiny.
Yeah. Ugo, I'll let you go. I just want to say real quick. I feel like the internet like does like nothing for her. Like honestly, like because you can't feel her aura all the way like via the internet. And then it's like she's like 100 times like more beautiful in person. Like it's so crazy. She literally looks like a Barbie doll, like seriously. And she
Yes.
doesn't really give like short, like you don't really feel like she's small in person. Like her aura is really big. So Yeah.
Warm, I think, right? Sweet, nice.
Very sweet. It
Yeah.
felt like meeting like a friend. Like she was really chill.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, ladies, you really helped her through a tough time. I really want to compliment you on that because she had a very hard time coming out and with, don't want to get into all of that, but we know she had a lot of racism. It was really horrible. And I know, and she even posted that and said that she would like sit at home and just watch all the clips and everything. And you girls, ladies, were a huge part of that. So thank you. And it's healing. It's healing to watch for everyone, for all the girls who look like us. So yeah, you're really important.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that
That's
really
very
just touched
sweet.
me. Thank you. We don't hear
Yeah.
that much. Or, well, we
No.
kind of do, but not like that. Like,
But I'm
always
sure
hear
they
that.
said something because they always shout out Nicolandriacore and you didn't you also do like a movie night even with Nick?
Yes.
Yeah.
We
That,
did.
oh, brother.
We did. We
He
did.
saw the first clips outside of the villa with you, with
Crazy.
Nicolandriacore.
Yeah.
Yep.
He trusted us enough for that. But
So, but
very
how
last
were
minute
they?
too.
But you did
Yeah.
it. It was really, and there has to be a part two, but the part one was fabulous. So, but how were they? How were they not? Yeah, of course they were nice to you, but how was it? Give us some,
It was
give us like a little scoop and something you haven't told anyone yet. One little secret.
Nick did like let us know. He's like, I feel like I already know you guys. Like, and it did feel like that. It didn't like I don't know, like usually, if you meet somebody, you'll be like, oh my God, like screaming in their face.
yeah.
Like I felt really like calm, like with them. I didn't feel like I needed to overreact. Like I didn't feel like this is like a rare opportunity. Like I'll never see them again. I really felt like calm. I felt like, oh, these are my people. Like we have like an understanding. Like we didn't really like pressure like either of them to like do too much. Like we wanted a picture. We wanted Nick to sign some things for us, but it was like we don't want to overwhelm you guys. Like that's really important to us. Like making sure like they get to like just know like we're cool, we're chill. Like yeah. So
Yes, so let's start with how you met because you're both from the Maryland area, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
We're both from Maryland. We live 20 minutes from each other, but we did not meet in Maryland. That's the crazy part. We both went on this trip in 2023. Literally, we only knew one person on the trip, one of our guy friends. We had a mutual guy friend, but we had never met each other. So we went on this trip spontaneously, and literally, like while we were there, as soon as we landed, we kind of like just wandered off into this Walmart, like just us two, and we were just talking, and we realized we had so many parallels. Like I don't know if you guys have heard of like invisible string theory, but we realized like we kind of had that, and it was in Montreal in 2023, and ever since then we've literally talked like every day, like literally.
Yeah.
And you did discover that you live close together.
Yeah, we found
Yeah.
out after we got back. Like
Yeah.
No, that's bizarre.
Ugona, you're a singer. You're an incredible
Yes.
singer. We're gonna hear your song at the end of the episode. So tell me about your childhood. You're from Nigerian descent. Tell me
Yes.
how you grew up, how because you were born and raised in Maryland, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Born and raised in Maryland. I guess I'll go from there. Yeah, so once again, my name is Ugona. I'm also a founder of Nicolandriacore, and yes, I'm a singer-songwriter. And I was born in Maryland and raised in Maryland. However, I have very strong ties to Nigeria. I'm specifically from a tribe, Igbo tribe, and I'm Igbo. And my parents have a very strong cultural influence, like in our household. So it kind of felt like, yes, I was born and raised here, but I still had Nigeria very close to my heart, if that makes sense. So, and it kind of shows in my music too. And that's what I wanted to do is essentially like show that, we are in the African diaspora. Like I'm Nigerian, I'm also American, and I want to share that in my music, my art, and that's what I do. And I think you said like trials and tribulations when it comes to my music. Essentially, being here, born in Maryland and raised here, it's been very interesting, I guess, since like my parents were very Igbo and they're very big on education, very big on education. So they're like, get your education, you got to go to school, get the degrees. So I did that. I have my bachelor's and my master's, and they're both health related. So I currently do work in that field, but always that's another part that's always been very important to me is music, is art. Like I've always been into that growing up. Like I remember very early on in my life telling my parents, like, I want to be a singer. I want to be a ballerina. I want to be a pop star. And they were like, you're going to be a doctor.
Typical Nigerian parent, West African. My dad, Cameroon, the same.
Yeah. So, and it's because like if you're trying to take a different path that they're not like familiar with, they're just going to be very apprehensive. So at the time I didn't understand it, but like looking back now that I'm older, I'm like, I understand where they were coming from. They're very big on like security, making sure that you are comfortable in life. So I understand it, and it definitely has like benefited me in many ways. But that art side of me just never went away. And last year I quit my job. I quit a toxic job, and that was my first time in life where I didn't have a job. I wasn't in school. So I'm like, wow, like who am I like outside of school and outside of work? And I just went back to what I knew, which was music. I was in choir for 14 years in my life. So from age 4 to 18, I was in choir. Shout out to my soprano ones, because I went to Catholic school all my life before college and stuff. So yeah. And from there, I realized like, you know what, music is still very important to me. I love writing. Like I've always been into poetry, always into just writing different things. So I just took that time where I wasn't working, wasn't in school, and I'm like, you know, I'm gonna make a song. And I told Kenyëva actually, and I told her like, I can sing. And she was like, okay, let's go to a studio. And from there, literally the rest is history. Like we went to the studio, recorded it, and then I dropped the song in summary. So definitely I will say like having someone, at least one person in your life that supports your dreams, supports your interests. Like the fact that she didn't even know I could sing. She was even surprised when she knew I could sing. It could change the trajectory of your life. So I just wanted to, bring that up. And she's also now my manager and creative director too. So yeah, it's cool. I'll
And
stop you.
also,
Yeah.
also a writer, right, Kenyëva? Tell us about. So you're from Sierra Leonean descent.
Yes.
Both your parents.
Just my mom, but my dad is not in my life. I grew up with a single mom. So like pretty much my Sierra Leonean roots is like what I know most.
Yeah. And did you travel there also as a child?
I've actually never been there in my life, but I'm able to speak my native tongue, which is called Mende, and we also speak something called Creole. So I'm able to speak both of those, but most people that even live in Sierra Leone cannot speak Mende. So like I grew up with my grandma. She was always here. She took care of us. So I feel really like connected to that part, even though I've never been there.
And was education also important in your household? Was your mom very fanatic, or was she more supporting your creative side? How was your upbringing?
So for me, like growing up, my mom, I guess she kind of gave me like free range. I didn't really realize it like until I got older. Like she never really like pressured me into like, oh, you need to like do this or do that. Like, oh, you need to make sure you have like straight A's. Like she's never been like that, which is like I guess kind of weird, but so when I was a senior, at first I wanted to be a pharmacist really bad. Like I thought that's what I was going to be. I started community college. When I went there, like I had a horrible experience. So I was like, okay, let me just try a different route with pharmacy. So I worked at CVS pharmacy in the pharmacy area, and then working there, all of the pharmacists would complain so much, and I realized like, oh, like they literally hate their jobs. So then I was like, okay, like now I don't even know what I want to do. But I've always been a creative. Graphic design is like one of my earliest passions. So yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And so speaking of mothers and daughters, so we have our mother and daughter bond. How is your mother and daughter bond? And especially now that you're, having your careers, working, having more than 60,000 followers, right? Even together. How is that influencing your mother and daughter bond, seeing their beautiful daughters like out in the world?
Do you want to go?
Do
Do you want to go first? I can go first.
Okay.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I will say, I feel like now that I'm like older, there was a lot of things I just didn't understand. Like my mom was very like strict, like very, very strict. She was like militant. Like my dad was kind of like more chill. My mom was more like militant and things like that. So I kind of was like scared all the time when I was younger. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I
Yeah.
hope I didn't do the wrong thing. I hope I get enough A's for the semester. So, she doesn't come. So now that I'm older, it's like more relaxed. And she's very like open to me being creative now, which is really, really, really nice. I really wanted that when I was younger. So it's like the younger me and inside of me is like so happy that I get to share that. But sometimes like I still don't share those things. For example, she doesn't necessarily know that I run an Instagram account of 62,000 followers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have an exclusive here that your mom doesn't
Yeah.
know.
She doesn't know. I feel like I'll tell her after this now, though, because like I should
Okay.
tell her now after an interview's about to come out.
Is she
But
like not online at all?
she is online. She is online, but I don't know. I think just growing up, like for example, the bond that you both have to be able to have a podcast, like, and interview different people is amazing. I think that's so beautiful to see, especially that mother-daughter bond. But I will say for me, it's very like different. I feel like I'm just now telling her that like I'm into creative things, and she's just now like showing how supportive she is. And I think she just wanted me, and she has said it like, I wanted you to get school out of the way first so that you can like, the sky's your limit. Like you can go to the moon after this. So I'm like slowly like telling her things and seeing her reactions and stuff. So that's been really nice to see that as well. And overall she is supportive. And I will say like in Nigerian household, that could be kind of common that when you're younger, your mom is like very like strict. And then when you're older, it's like they slowly begin to relax more. And so that's what I'm experiencing. I'm also the oldest sibling as well. So I kind of took on like the third parent, right? So I had to cross, my siblings could run. So a lot of the things that I didn't experience growing up, my siblings got to, have like the chill side of my parents, like, and things like that versus me. It took like a longer time with like my mom specifically. So, but it's been great. She's very supportive. She's a very passionate person, like, as well. So she does go hard for me. It's just that now that I'm older, it's like, it's a better bond, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And so Kenyëva, so your mom was always you. So it sounds like you always had like more like a easier bond with your mom, right? Because she was no giving you
No,
no.
no, it's been like so like now that I'm older, I think I understand more that so my mom like she didn't grow up here. I'm first generation. So I think growing up it's more like maybe she didn't really understand me that much being that like I grew up here like in America. Like I've never been in Sierra Leone a day in my life and like if it was up to her, she would have lived in Sierra Leone her whole life. Like she loves Sierra Leone. So it's just been really different. But now that I'm older and I realize like that's okay. I think she's starting to understand me more, especially being that like her and my brother are really close and my brother is kind of like a reflection of me, but like he just communicates like in a way that's like easier for her to understand. So like sometimes like now she'll realize like, oh, like that's what your sister like was trying to tell me or like those kind of things. And now she's starting to also understand like how important creativity is as well because I feel like when she was growing up maybe it was more about like corporate jobs and stuff like that but like now she's seeing like the world like needs creatives and my daughter is a creative too so she's just starting to understand me more and like same I'm starting to understand her more too so like now we're getting closer but growing up I kind of like just like locked myself up in my room was like online and stuff we didn't really like have that much of a bond she's like at work all the time of course like trying to provide for us so yeah.
And what I find so interesting because our Nicolandria episode, we realized we have a lot of West African listeners also, and a lot of them also responded. So if you speak about communication, because I think that's so interesting for other people also to understand, because right in America everyone is talking, it's all normal, but for us in West African culture, that's a little different, right? Respect for the parents, the way you communicate with your parents. Kenyëva, can you speak a little bit more or explain a little bit more when you say my way of communicating? Do you mean then sort of like because you're more American? Was it a little bit of a culture clash in your
Yeah,
home because you grew up here?
I think it's definitely a culture clash and then like also my personality too. Like I have like a very like I guess like blunt personality, like of course like in a respectful way, but like I'm very like maybe more like black and white, but like communicating sometimes if I'm saying something like she just won't know what I'm talking about like or what I'm like trying to explain like even with the Instagram page like I've
Yeah,
kind of tried to explain to her but she doesn't get it like she doesn't really know what fandom is because like
yeah.
it's just not it doesn't exist for her.
So you've done something incredible. Your energy together and what you came up with out of just passion and wanting to create, like I know you both, community to both of you is so important. You've done such an amazing thing. What are you taking away from this for your careers? Tell me about the next step for you guys as a manager, writer, as a singer, as an artist who's already been, in like at the what was the big concert hall where you already performed at the
Madison Square
Madison
Garden.
Square. I mean, hello. So see what you can do. So how are you taking all of that with you now for the next step? Share with us.
I guess I can go first. I think like takeaways. I think the first takeaway is like without community, who are you really? Like I'm not saying you're nothing, but like community really can push the trajectory of like your career or whatever you're interested in. I think having a community is really important, whether that's 10 people or 10,000 people. But if you have at least 10 people that support you and go hard for you, it can really make a difference. And just seeing that with the Nicolandriacore page, like how we go so hard for Nic and Olandria and helping them in any way, shape we can. Essentially now, like how Instagram can be used as like a resume. Like it can, also be seen as an archive. You can go down memory lane and it can also be a resume for other brands to see you, brands that you've dreamed about working with and things like that. So I think that's another takeaway is like, use the power of social media, have a community behind you, and it can really change your life. And I definitely want to apply that to like my music, my creative endeavors, because it's not only music, it's like, I guess when you're creative, like it could just be anything, honestly. Like, I think when it comes to community, you don't know what you're going to get, but you do know those people love you and they go hard for you, and that's all that matters. So I think those are my takeaways.
Kenyëva?
Like one of the biggest takeaways that I realized is like I think I can maybe do anything. Like I am a leader. Like I need to trust my judgment. Like I just this page like has really built my confidence because like these are like posts that like I get to make and then people like get to tell me how much like they're impacted by them, they like them and stuff like that. Oh, I'm also taking away that like I cannot please everyone. I feel like sometimes like I get like discouraged if like people are not satisfied, whether it's like with a post that I made or like something like that. Like at first I would take it like really like to heart, like or just like be like why like no they just don't get it and trying to explain like oh this is why I did this or that, but like now I've learned like okay like it doesn't everyone's not going to be pleased. Like I just need to focus on pleasing myself and also just chasing my dreams and doing things that seem like they may not be possible. Like Olandria has really shown me like that anything can happen. Like I have really big dreams and some of them kind of felt like for people that like look like me or like for women like they're not possible, but like seeing how like even brands like rally behind Nic and Olandria's posts like in the comments and stuff like that, like it lets me know like the world like is mine. Anything that I want to do I can literally do. So yeah.
Let's manifest something for you. What do you want concrete that we can, because Olandria is a big believer in manifestation. She literally wrote out tweets, things that are happening now in her life. I don't know if you saw, she got like this beautiful book with all these covers, like somebody made a book for her
Yes.
and one on Vogue. And she literally said on that live spontaneously, yes, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. What can we together with our energies and the people who listen, our little community that listens to our podcast, what can we manifest for you for your next steps?
I would like to manifest becoming the creative director for like a random company, like for something like Bengay or like Ritz crackers, and just like redefine like the culture around that community, whether it's their online, like their social media space, or just for Bengay, like people that use it. Like I would really like to become their creative director for any major brand and really put my touch on it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Ugona.
I would love to like go on a world tour and like sing with people who like feel my lyrics and they relate to them. Like that would be so cool from like different backgrounds, different skin colors, different like that would be so cool. Like a world tour, I think is my dream.
Amazing. Okay, great. Yes, it's gonna happen. It's both gonna
Thank
happen.
you.
Thank
Yes.
you. I have a
Well,
question for you guys, actually.
yes.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys seem very close. Like, what advice do you have for any like daughters or any mothers that are not as close with their
Oh.
daughter or vice versa?
You can go first.
No, you go first. You're good.
I have to think about
Oh,
it.
you have to think about it? Okay. Especially also hearing you and with your moms and hardworking single mom and culture is really important. I so understand that because, when you have that baby in your arms for the first times and you've carried it and it's grown inside of you, your life is sort of over, right? Only thing you want is this beautiful, amazing, incredible creature to not just be, even happiness almost is like, no, safe. Please let nothing, And we've made a few episodes about strict parenting, about free parenting, about our mother and daughter bonds. It's a journey. It's a constant journey of learning as a mom to let go and trust. And one of the wisest things I've ever heard from another mother is also your child, your beautiful little gorgeous baby girl, has the right to make her own mistakes and to fall and to become unhappy and to F up and to get in huge trouble and have her heart broken. That's their right. That's part of living. Because what will define is not that nothing happens, but how you deal with when stuff happens. How do you deal with it? What do you do? And we've been through, very difficult things also. But being able to handle it together, to talk about it, and the most important thing for me is, and I think I've always said that, doesn't matter what it is, I'll bury the body. Come to me. Come to me first.
Yeah, I like that.
That was so beautiful. Aw, so
That was
beautiful.
really nice. Thank
So
you.
that's what I want to say to moms, especially West African moms or multicultural, whatever, how do you call it, moms? Because I know that fear is almost stifling. But give them the right of effing up and learning from that with you, because then you're there to support. Then you can influence, as opposed to not gonna tell my mom because because if I tell her,
Right. And then,
that's my advice to
Yeah.
moms.
No, I agree. I think I couldn't have said any better. I think the most important is definitely like having that trust and communication, and having to accept that you can like only control your children for so long until they're gonna become their own individual with their own choices. So I think it's really important that regardless of your beliefs or your culture, to understand that safety is the most important thing. So if your child is able to come to you with these things and talk to you, that means they trust you, and that means that you can help them out, rather as them doing it behind your back, which could be potentially way more dangerous. So I think that's definitely a very important aspect. Yeah.
And do you also have it? Because I also love the question for daughters who have maybe a little bit difficulty with their moms. What would you say to the daughters?
It's really hard because you look up to your mom, and I think a lot of people my age or younger, they have this big fear where they really want to tell their mom, but just because of their reaction or they're scared for the consequences, they don't do so. So I would have to say it is mainly like, in that sense, up to the mom to really give that room where it's like, even if it's something I'm going to be mad about, I'm still going to like protect you and help you take care of it. The speech will come later. And also giving that freedom to your kids to remind them like, oh, I'm also just a human being who's living for the first time and learning. Like, I'm able to tell my mom sometimes like, hey, like, I understand that this might be something bad I told you, but please, I just need like a hug first, and you can give me like a speech after. Like, I'm able to tell my mom these things because she always allowed me to know that she's also human. She also makes mistakes. We all do, whether as it's like, oh, I'm your mom, so I'm going to tell you what to do. So yeah, that's very important.
Thank you for that.
Beautiful. Thank you.
So are you going to tell your mom, Ugona, about this?
I'm going to tell her now. Yes. I'm gonna look at his Instagram.
And I would love to do an episode with your moms.
Oh my God.
Nice. That would be so fun. That would be
We'll
really
follow
nice.
up with the
That would be
moms.
Do that.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yes. Okay, Ugona, can you lead us? Can we put on your song, and that we can have like a little recording of us listening to your song?
Of course. Let me pull it up for you.
Have a great night, and we'll do an episode with the moms. Promise?
Yes, we promise. We
That was
promise.
really crazy.
Thank you so much. Bye.